This is Murphy, Sam, and Jody after the show, and I think I figured out another non-negotiable.
What's that, Murphy?
Earlier we were talking about staying through the end credits of the movie, of any movie, and whether or not there is a bonus scene or some surprise at the end, and I'm one of those, and I guess I've always been that way. I don't leave the theater until the credits, are done.
Is it a traffic reason?
No, it's not a traffic reason.
Let the parking lot clear out.
It's nicer though to leave later.
I guess it is easier, and you can see how much popcorn was left over. But anyway, no, seriously, I ever since I was a kid, that's the way I've been. The only time I left a theater early was when the movie was terrible.
Right.
Like Vanilla, what was that? Vanilla
Sky?
Oh,
man.
There was that.
Did we leave it early together, or did we just... I can't remember.
I don't. The one we left early together was the Pineapple
Express.
Pineapple Express.
That was the dumbest movie.
I love Seth Rogen.
Well, you knew the premise.
I know. I love Seth Rogen, but it's like, man, I'm lost, and I've got to.
Seth Rogen could do no wrong at that time, and boy, did he with that.
Well, I mean, just. I have a good, very, my sense of humor is not. I'm not easily offended.
Me either.
And so, Jody's not. I mean, we just were kind of like, okay,
when is this going to get funny?
Yeah,
better things to do here.
Speaking of Vanilla Sky, too, there was an awful movie.
I know.
I couldn't figure out what was going on in that one.
That's why I left her.
Yeah.
But anything else, I'm sitting through the credits, and it was what Bailey said. Producer Bailey said a little while ago. Part of it is curiosity, but to me, part of it is the natural respect for the movie. I don't know. I feel obligated. It's my job to honor the person from start to finish.
Wait, do you feel obligated or are you just curious?
It's
to
both.
See it.
No, I'm serious about it. I really do. I feel it's the respectful thing to do.
Yeah, I know for a fact I would stay, but knowing that I can't intake all those names and remember all the names and remember. Right. I could maybe remember the names of the companies that were responsible for like some of the animation or something like that. But just like, I don't know, maybe it's kind of a selfish future proofing. Like, if I'm going to be involved in a movie, obviously I would want somebody to know that I was involved in it. So they're going to have to stick around for the credits.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
And I realize the director of the movie, he doesn't know me. He's not going to know if I walk out of the theater. It's just the concept of that. And maybe part of it is that I don't want to miss, some sort of surprise scene. But truthfully, I feel that's the same way. One of my other rules on performance like that is when I'm watching a live performance, and I do the same thing in a theater, but in any live performance, I don't want to be in any conversation around me. I think it's extremely disrespectful to the people who are live on the stage.
It is.
And it's happened too. We'll leave it nameless, but I mean there are certain family members that I know.
You talk.
Yours or Jody's?
Well, I married into the family.
Look, this irks me to death too. This is why we don't sit with that family member when she arrives.
That is no way to talk about your mother, Jody.
You just when people are performing, it's better not to talk at all. Save it to the person next to you may be hanging on their every word. So
well, that, and you're there to experience that. And again, to me, it's the respect. Yes, I've paid for a ticket. Yes, I know that I'm supporting the cause, but this is somebody who obviously has worked, rehearsed, practiced, a team of people that have worked very hard. They deserve my full attention for the entire time period, unless I've got to go to the bathroom.
But I can tell you this.
Well, we'll just get out, quietly.
The people who do that, who talk during live performances, are also the same people that talk during church. Yeah, and talk to you during a movie too much. They just because.
You know what gets me about those people?
True.
Besides the fact that they're talking, is that they're talking to me, and that I wind up feeling guilty by association.
Oh yeah,
right.
Because
you're right.
And it's happened in conference meetings here.
Sure,
you happen to sit by
Chatty
Kathy, guy or girl.
Right.
Chatty Charlie. And it's like you're trying to pay attention, and in every it's got a quip about everything, and it's like, number one, shut up, I'm trying to listen. Number two,
you should be
everybody's going to turn around and see me talking to you when I'm not trying to.
That's like when you're a kid in a class and you get in trouble because the class clown's talking to you, and it's like, what? It wasn't me. That happens on the daily in classrooms, I think.
Yeah.
It just does.
Well, that's just
I
always
love that
been
about you, Murphy.
Well, it's always
That
been
you-
something that's important to me. And what Sam was just describing about the person who talks to you, my hope is that always, if you see that I'm not responding, maybe you'll get that, But there are some people who actually don't get that either. Isn't that weird?
No, they don't.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is that those people who, and I can't keep speaking in the generic sense.
Just go ahead and say Scotty.
Anyway,
That'll work.
But anybody, the person who will speak to you once in the middle of a performance like that is likely to do it on a regular basis and with anybody. You know what I mean? It's just weird. It's like a social miscue or something that they just don't get.
Well, and to me, or maybe my interpretation of it is, and I don't know if it's always been like this, but most crowds are made up of people who are there to see the band.
Right.
Yeah.
And there are those that are there because their friend came to see the band, and they're just there to, like, this is a social thing.
Socializing.
Like, I'm
Right.
here.
It
to
is
just be
about
here.
how they perceive
Yeah.
what they're doing. You're so right.
Yeah,
about
I've been
that.
to a lot of shows, and it's all about where you're standing in the room that you're in. If you're in the back, those are all the people that really don't want to be there, and they just want to be close to the bar.
They're there to date.
You know,
or
that's
whatever.
interesting. I wasn't even thinking about it in terms of bands, but you're right. To me, when somebody's playing music also, same
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, it's so annoying.
I'm there. I should be there giving that person, my attention, especially in an intimate setting, you know?
Well, of course,
And
it's
the
a
fact
big.
that you paid money to be there,
Yeah.
usually, or like on Broadway. You're paying big money to go to a Broadway play.
Yeah,
Shut up.
totally.
Don't
I
take out your
cannot-
camera. Don't check your phone.
Yeah,
Watch the show.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love that about you. And I think we since you and I, Murphy, go to so many things together, it works out well that we don't talk to each other during things.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you get mad about something or, whatever, it
It's
happens.
happened every once in a great while.
As far as the credits go, the only time I ever, before the end credit scenes started
Yes,
popping
yeah.
up, the only time I would stay is if I heard a song in the movie and I wanted to
Sure.
try to read as fast as I could if that was the song I thought it was.
Okay.
Or if you saw
Yeah.
a face, an actor or an actress,
And you wanted
went,
to play some.
wait. And then, of course, there it's almost impossible because the names, when it gets to the
Go
list,
fast.
and it's like, I got to wait till it comes out at home so I can pause it.
Yeah.
But those were the only times I used to stick around and watch
Mm-hmm.
credits.
Speaking of end credits, though, I'm glad you brought it up today, Murphy, because one of my favorite end credit scenes ever is at the end of the movie Chef. And I know we talk about it all the time. We're obsessed with that movie, all of us collectively. The Jon Favreau food truck movie.
I want a food truck.
I know. You think you want to do all that work. That's a
Yeah,
hard
okay.
life.
I just want a sandwich press. I don't want to have
I
the
just
truck.
want a sandwich from that truck.
Yeah.
But anyway, at the end there's more than one, but I think it's the grilled cheese sandwich.
And I actually think
The
that
instruction of him getting.
I think that's in the middle of the credits at some point, right?
Awesome, so worth it.
But
So worth
yeah,
it.
I mean that makes it. But it's
You'll
so
go straight to your kitchen after
That's right.
that.
You'll go look for bread and whatever cheese you own at
Mm-hmm.
that point.
yeah. So so the element of surprise there, not knowing whether a movie's going to do that or not, is certainly going to keep me. But there's something to me proper and right about the credits come to an end, the lights come up in the theater, and then it's time for me to leave. It's not
Yeah.
time for me to leave before then. I don't know. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you paid your $13, so you should be
You're there
allowed
to
to
get-
sit there
get
as
the-
Every
long
single
as
minute.
you want.